Hello everyone, Becca here from Willow Hill Designs, and I thought I would try my hand at the Margaret Miller planner where she does collaging each week. I thought that might be interesting. It's something I've never tried before, and I know that we're on week 35. I've been watching others, and it just seems so interesting. I like to do this on cards for my children and my grandchildren. I don't really have a lot of resources because my studio is mostly filled with fabric. There's really a criminal amount of fabric in my studio. There's so much. I don't have room for much else. I have a dresser with a few drawers of papers that I use for cards. So I'm just going to really use what I have and see how this goes. So I know the first prompt says to that's something that represents summer, and I'm sorry, I already cut this out. I totally forgot that I should probably show some of my process. So this is the paper that this came out of. This is from one of my books, and I really, actually it's upside down. This goes like this. There is a little border at the top, and I loved this page. I thought that was very pretty. It made me think of summer. It looks like you're peeking through the trees and looking into a meadow, a summer meadow. So I liked that. I thought that might be nice for the background. So I already cut that out. Sorry about that. And then the next thing says a list of some sort. So I wasn't quite sure where to go with that. And I get these books from Boys Town. I always contribute to them, and they always send the Old Farmer's Almanac. They send recipe books, puzzle books, planners, all sorts of little gifts they're always giving throughout the year. So I noticed on here there's a list. It says the Old Farmer's Almanac, the biennial Old Farmer's Almanac for Kids, the Annual Garden Guide, the Vegetable Gardener's Handbook, and they always have interesting little things in there in these books that they provide. So I thought I would use this as my list. I don't know if I'll use that picture of the almanac or not, but we might as well leave it on there and then see if it works. So I will use my Collage trimmer for this and see how this looks. I'll just, oh, that probably could have been a little bit smaller. Okay. And, oops, put that there, and let's see, we'll cut this down a little bit further. That looks like it's going to be kind of a big list for my page, but we'll see how this works. And let's see, I don't know if I'll leave I don't think I'll leave the almanac on there. I think I'll take that off. I can save that for something else. So let's just take that down a bit more. Okay, I'll save this almanac. And this, I would like to take this down just a little, tiny bit more. We'll just make it a little bit smaller. Okay. So that's my list. so that'll go on here that'll go on, oops, sorry. That'll go on here somewhere on my page. And let's see, what else is there? A pattern with stripes. So from these books that Boys Town sends me, in one of the almanacs there's a little article all about bees, and I just thought that bee was so cute, and I thought I would consider the stripes on the bee's body my pattern with stripes. So I started to cut the bee out so that this video wouldn't be very, very long, because when I'm composing something, it takes me a while. I like to take my time and kind of consider all of my options. Oh, these little legs are tiny. I definitely won't get the antenna in there, but we'll get his little legs at least. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Let's see, he needs to be trimmed up just a tiny bit more. Let me see if I'm on camera here. I will just trim right there. I think that's good enough. I have a little micron pen, and I think I will just darken right up by his legs. Okay, and I see that there's a little tiny piece of yellow that can go. Okay, so that would be my pattern with stripes, to have a bee on there, and a photo or a portion of a photo. And I took this photo of my morning glories, and I printed it on hemp paper. I didn't want it to be just a photo, and so I loved that. And I don't know if that'll be a little bit big. Maybe I will just cut that down a little tiny bit. Let's see how that looks to cut it down. Let's see. Again, I'll use my Collage because I used it on the other edges of this. Okay, I think I like that size a little bit better. I can save this to be used somewhere else. And I think I'll take a little bit more off of that on the side, so that a little bit more of that background shows through. I'll see how that looks. I have a pumpkin candle lit right now, and it's making me think of fall. And crafting with a pumpkin candle in the background, there's nothing better. Okay, I kind of like that. So I think I'll, oh, and on this picture, I took my micron pen. I took a number 2, not too fine, and I just drew around the petunias, the morning glories. These are my morning glories, actually, that I grew from seed. I save the seeds each year and plant them, and oh, they're just such a beautiful color. I decided to go around the edges of the morning glories with this micron pen just to bring them forward a little bit. So that'll be my morning glories. And let's see, we have our list. And we have our striped pattern. Let's see, this would be my photo and typewriter text. And I had found this text. I didn't want to go on my computer. I just didn't want to do all that. That seemed like a lot to, I said, oh, I've got so many things. I think I'll just go on my iPad quickly. So I wasn't able to get a smaller font, but hopefully I can make this work. I was going to make that smaller or cut it down, but maybe I could tuck that somewhere. Yeah, I think I could do that. And in this list, I'd like to tuck that also maybe. Pop that in here. And I also have more text. I like this verse. This is in Jeremiah, and I like this verse. I think it's really nice, so I'm not sure if I will add that also to this. I know the plans that I have for you, they are to prosper you and not to harm you. I love that verse. I think that's so nice. And part of the plans are for us to enjoy the beauty around us, and that would be our garden. So maybe I will use that. It's kind of long, but okay, in my list. And the last thing was a clock. That would be the bonus. Let's see. I also have where that is found in Jeremiah. So I may put that on there. And the last thing was bonus a clock. And this is a brochure from a cuckoo clock that my brother had bought. He had several. When he was in Germany, he bought a Black Forest cuckoo clock, and that really started his love of cuckoo clocks. And so being that I lost him recently, I would love to have something in there that would make me think of him. In this brochure I would tuck away where this is something that I would see and enjoy in this planner. So let's see if I can get this cuckoo clock cut out and add this to the collage. This was a little brochure that he had gotten. Matter of fact, he's got one of his clocks was delivered on September 11th, 2011. And it's in all different languages. It tells you all about the different parts and what you can get for the pendulums and the little head pieces on them. So that I thought might be a nice addition. So I will just cut this out and see how this will look on there. It's not a traditional clock face, but it is a clock. Let's see. Looks like a little man is chopping some wood maybe here. This is a pretty one. I have a couple of his cuckoo clocks, and one of them I just couldn't get to work. I know that you have to make sure that they're very level when they're hanging on the wall, and no matter how much I leveled that clock, we all tried, just couldn't get it to work. So I don't know, maybe it needs to be sent away to be looked at. I felt very bad because it's such a beautiful clock. It has a deer on it, it has a hunter's bag, really very beautiful detail. Okay, let's see if I've gotten this. Okay, just here, the edge of the clock. Okay, and that is the clock. So now, to put all of this together and make it look like it goes, like it belongs there. Okay, well, let's start with gluing down the background. I'll start with that. And I'll use just a little bit of art glitter glue here. And that should hold it. As I said, I really don't do this much other than birthday cards. Matter of fact, I have to make 3 cards. It's my twin's birthday, September 12th, and we're also having a little birthday party for my little grandson, who will be 3. So I have 3 cards to make. It's not quite perfect, but it'll have to do. Okay. Okay, that's good. And let's see, did I lose something? Looks like I did. Oh, right here. Okay, now my flowers. I'm guessing I will put them there. I'm thinking I might put those down, and I'd like to put love letter there. And I'd like the bee. Oh, and I meant to mention that on the bee, I used some stickles, and this color is diamond. This is by Ranger, and just did a little bit on the wings. I know bees really don't have iridescent wings like dragonflies and things, but I just like that little touch on there. So I did put some stickles on the bee's wing. So I'm thinking maybe the bee would be flying up here, coming into the flowers. And then I would like to put this on here as well. I could move that down. And I'd also like this on here. And that can go underneath like that. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if I can get that. I'll start with love letter first. Can you tell that I don't really know what I'm doing? Probably putting too much glue on, for one. Well, here goes nothing. Okay. and then I think I'll put that over that, put that there. I feel like I want to cut that down just a tiny bit more on the ends. Let me see if I can just cut this down. Okay, and I guess that end will be okay. All right, so I think maybe I like that. So next I will do I'll do my flower page. And these are so beautiful in the morning glories. When I go to let my little dog out in the morning, they're there to greet us, and oh, they're just so beautiful. And then by about 1 o'clock they close up. It's been so hot, so terribly hot. Poor things. Let's see. Oh, before I do that, I should have tucked my list. Okay, let's do that quickly. Let's tuck this little list, because I don't want that exposed quite so much. So I'll just do a little reveal of the list. Okay. And next, I guess I'll do this. I can see you really have to plan each step before you go ahead and glue things down. So let's get a little bit of glue on this. I love the fine tip on this art glitter glue. It really does such a nice job of not getting too gloppy. Let's see, how about there? Okay. These were also printed on hemp paper. Oh, I was going to tuck that under, wasn't I? I wonder if I can just cut this a tiny bit smaller. I'll probably wreck it, but we'll see. Get under there. Let me see if I can just take the smallest edge off. Well, not as much as I would have liked, but I think it's better than it was. Does it want to come out that way? Okay. I'll probably just trim that a bit where it hung up. Okay. It's a tiny bit better. Let's just trim it even a little bit more. Not quite deckly, is it? But maybe we can make it look a little raggedy. Okay. And I think maybe I will move that down a bit. Okay. I think I'll put that there. I think I put a little too much glue on the first first there. It looks a bit like it's coming, not quite coming through, but it's thick. Okay. So let's see, we have our something that represents summer. Check. A list. A pattern with stripes, our B, a photo, typewriter text, and bonus a clock. So we have everything. So I think I will put the clock let's see where the clock should be. I think maybe there. And the B, let's see where the B should go. I think up here for the B, because first of all, it shows up more, but secondly, they fly in the sky to come to the flowers, so I think maybe that's a little bit better. Let's do that, and I think I like the clock there, so we'll glue that down. After I finish this, I'll be starting 3 cards. I have ideas for my daughters, but I'm not quite sure for my little grandson. He is having a monster truck birthday party, so this Friday, so I'd like to do something with that kind of a theme, so I'll see what I can come up with for him. Okay. I like that clock. It's a black forest clock, and it looks to me like it's kind of in the vines of the plant. I like that look. And I chose Love Letter because, to me, flowers, and of course all the beauty that we see around us, they're like love letters from God. You know, this world could be so plain and just nondescript, mundane, and but God has provided us so much beauty to look at that I just feel it's like a love letter. And when I saw that text, I just said, oh, that's such a wonderful idea. I think I'll take that. Without downloading font, it was very hard. There was a lot of depressing, very depressing negative statements in the old typewriter font, and I didn't want anything depressing, so when I saw this Love Letter, I really liked it. I thought that was nice. I thought that is exactly how I feel about flowers. I feel like they're a love letter from God. I love fall, I love winter, I love spring, and I love fall. I'm looking forward to picking apples and hikes in the woods, but I am going to miss my flowers and all the beauty that we see in that in the summer. Let's see, I had the paper that I cut the bee out of, but it's not close by for, oh, it's all in pieces here. I was going to try to look at the antenna and just see what they looked like. Oh no, that's the clock. Well, I'll just try to draw something that looks like an antenna of a bee. Sorry, Mr. Bee, if this is not what your antenna look like. And this bee was all done in just grays, kind of grays and black tones. And so I just took my Derwent pencils and went over it, did some pink and a little bit of orange just to give him some color, and then the iridescence on the wings. So I think we have everything. Oh my gosh, that made me nervous to do this. This was I love everyone's. They come out so beautiful, and I wasn't sure what mine was going to look like, being that I didn't pre-plan where everything was going to go. But I like the way it looks. So I will just give you a little, this was fun. I will just give you a little close-up of it. My bee and his or her wings. I just had a little bumblebee out there earlier going to the Cleome. They love the Cleome. They buzz around that all the time. So that's wonderful, and I'm thinking I'd like to go back and work on week 34 too. It says light, whatever that means to you, and I have a lighthouse that I'd like to use. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks very much for watching, for spending this time with me. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed something here, and I hope that I inspired someone. I know I'm inspired when I watch everyone else's being done. And thank you, and I will see you next time. Hopefully I can get to week 36 and come up with something interesting. But okay, thank you. Bye-bye for now.